Good evening, Naresh. My name is Pamela Vallejos, and I'm going to give you a summary of my project charter based on my project, Imperial Construction in Karratha. Please have a look to my student ID card. Okay, so first of all, I would like to give you a small summary of background of the company. So Imperial is a company dedicated of construction of houses here in Perth. But due to the economy decreasing in this market in the last years, is that Imperial was evaluating different locations or ways to do business. One of the locations that thought it was very attractive was Karratha, which is located in the northwest of Australia. Why Karratha? Two reasons. First one, Karratha is a location very attractive because a lot of mining, oil and gas, and iron business are there. So a lot of people want to work close to them because it's good money, good place to live, quiet, etc. The second reason why it's Karratha is because the director of the company has experience working in Karratha before, as well as the team. So he knows how the business work there, how the municipality work. He knows the people working in the mining area. So everything is a good opportunity and advantage, knowing the location where we are going to be. Project purpose or goal. Well, our main purpose will be trying to get 4% of the market on private properties. In this instance, in this stage, we want to get in the market just for renovation and maintenance. We are excluding in this instance what is construction, the building of a complete house. Okay, that is something that we need to clarify. So that is the main goal, private properties. And a scope will be, we are trying to focus in these kind of people working in this industry because they are the ones that can afford big maintenance or renovations in the properties. That would be our main focus of the business. So this is just a format of our project charter, which is showing me as a project manager and also Contripi as a project sponsor, which is the same as project director and CEO. What do we expect in terms of benefits of this business? Business sustainability, of course, because Imperial has been in the market for 30 years. Of course, it wants to continue being sustainable in the future. Profitability. Yes, because if we can follow the model, the financial model that I will show you later, it will show profitability, very successful business in the long term, showing a return of investment of 50% for the partners, which is very, very attractive. Strained relationships with stakeholders, because we have been working with the same people, workers, consultants for 30 years. We want to continue and keep that alliance, which is very important. It's a value that the company has, and it's very important to keep it like that. Commitment with local community. Yes, because if we can be able to generate jobs and be part of the community, we will be aligned with the goals of City of Karratha as well, which is generating jobs and creating different business, a part of the main ones. Okay, so for this we have different kind of objectives. We have long-term objectives and short-term objectives. In this case, the long-term is we need to get 4% of the market, starting in 2020. That is a very important objective that we need to focus in order to get. 5% increase of market share every year. Let's say 4% of market share here, it means that we need to get 70 properties at least in the first year to get to the main goal. 5% increase, second year, we need to get 73 properties. Third year, we need to get 77 properties, and so on. And we need to try to get a 20,000 income per project in order to meet with the final goal, which is return of investment of 50% for the partners. Short-term objectives. Well, we need to get here and be very strong in this base, because if we meet these short-term objectives, it will allow us to continue with the long term. First one is prepare documentation to get the permissions. Saying that, this company has been in the market for so long, so all the legal, financial, and tax documentations are ready, in place, and up to date. So this is especially documentation that we need to fulfill for City of Caraza, for this special permission that we need to operate the project there. Then submit the application. We need to submit the application, but part of that includes some meetings with the mayor and some authorities of the location, so we can show them how we are aligned with the objectives that they have as well. One, generating jobs. Property in Caraza. We want to buy a property in Caraza. This property will have two objectives. One, as an office, local office in Caraza. Second, as a house. Some sub-supervisors that are based in Perth can stay there, and we avoid any other expenses in the future for hotels and things like that. Advertising campaign. Yes, the way to show in the first instance will be through radio, newspapers, and also the website of Imperial will be updated with this new business unit and this new location. Prepare policies and procedures. Again, we have those things, we have the certifications, but we need to adequate them in this new location. We need to adequate the legal, the environmental, all the needs that needs to be in place for the special place. And of-time project system, yes, because we pretend to have not just one project at a time, different projects if it's possible, and we need to control timing, hours, cost, people. For that, we need to get that system. So key stakeholders, we have the steering committee with the CFO, partners, financial controller, and project manager, but also the team members, administrative assistants based in Caraza, plus all the workers. We have this separation only because it's an easy way how to flow that in terms of communications later as well. Then we have financial projections. We have financial projections, which is showing us the main number that we want to look at, which is the return of investment, 50% in 5 years, but also it's showing us the initial investment, $670,000. It's showing us that in the 4 year we will be able to recover the full initial investment, and also a couple of assumptions as I explained before. We need to get 70 properties at the first year, 73 properties the second year, 77, and so on. So there are a couple of assumptions and risk with this model as well. So if we don't obtain the 4% of market, it's a big risk. So we did a sensitive financial analysis. If we get only 3%, the project is not going to work. Or it can work, but we need to project in much more years, and then it's more risky as well. Difficulties in hiring process. Yes, because we want people are aligned with the values of the company as well. And also because maybe people there have higher expectations in terms of salary to the ones that we have projected in the financials. Growth projections in Karratha overestimated. Well, part of our estimations were based on the reports released for City of Karratha in terms of property, population that is going to live there in the next few years. So if that is too overestimated, it will affect our projections as well. Aggressive competitors. Yes, because if Karratha starts to be a very attractive place to do business, then a lot of people want to be there, and the competition can be more difficult. Delays in getting permissions and licenses is a risk, because with our short-term objectives, this should be done by this year, 2019. Our project financials includes that in the first quarter, we should be operating. Not necessarily January, but first quarter, we need to be operating. So the permissions and license needs to be done. And reporting and approvals, well, just a summary, but basically this is the people involved in the project who is approving these advances, reports, and everything. So basically it's meeting every week and every month. Every week to have a look to the daily basis works and objectives, and in a monthly basis to check if everything is complete according to the short and long term objectives. That's why it's separating as well in short and long term. And well, that is the end of the presentation. So thanks for listening, and please let me know if you have more questions about it. Thanks, Naresh.